Welcome back to Madden NFL 20. We selected your previous game options. You can change these options and accessibility settings here or at any time later. Accessibility settings. Accessibility settings. Accessibility settings.
It's the coach. Welcome to EA Sports coverage of the 2019 NFL Pro Bowl from right here in Orlando, Florida. Coming up, the AFC looking to make it 3 in a row as they square off against their rivals from the NFC. I'll be back at halftime, but first let's get you downtown to Camping World Stadium. Standing by our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Straight ahead, bragging rights on the line in the 46th meeting of the AFC and the NFC in the 2019 NFL Pro Bowl game. As always, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, Rams and Patriots still a week away. We'll touch on that later. But as Coach said, the AFC coming in here on a 2-game win streak.
And I love the fact that it's back to AFC versus NFC. We had that little time frame with captain's picks, and there was no side. I didn't like that. So let's see if the NFC can get into it. Drew Brees will be their starting quarterback. Probably a little perturbed about how his season ended. And Patrick Mahomes from Kansas City, what a second season for that youngster.
All set to go now from Orlando. The 2019 NFL Pro Bowl is underway. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The NFC offense taking the field, being led in blue by the NFL's all-time passing leader. 12th Pro Bowl nomination for the great QB from New Orleans, Drew Brees.
And you and I both know that this is not easy for him. It's fun to play football at any time, but you know he'd rather be preparing for the Super Bowl and still trying to get that missed call out of his head that may have prevented his Saints from getting there.
Now the New York Giants star playing in the Pro Bowl as a rookie, Saquon Barkley. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. You look back a few years ago, Charles, when the Pro Bowl did that 3-year experimentation. I know you're a traditionalist. You like AFC versus NFC.
Yes, I do.
But for the games 2014, 15, and 16, they tried something a little different. They held essentially a fantasy draft for players. Year 1, it was Jerry Rice, Deion Sanders as captains. Year 2, Michael Irvin and Chris Carter. And then in year 3, Michael Irvin again matching up against Jerry Rice.
And one common denominator, every single one of those guys with a gold jacket, all of them in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So they didn't ask you and I to be the captains and make the picks. And by the way, the playmaker, Michael Irvin, went 2-0. And you know I heard all about that.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. In for the sack, Myles Garrett.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sack.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. Mahomes in the AFC now with a 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. Jared Cook, the tight end, was the target. And now it's 2nd down. A first-time Pro Bowler. Here's James Conner of the Steelers. The 20. And he will take this in for an AFC touchdown. James Conner, 50 yards. And the AFC has taken the early lead. So the AFC, remember, of course, they won the last couple years here in Orlando and off to a good start in this one.
Yeah, how about that? The first touchdown of this game. How many more do we expect to see?
Hopefully a lot. I want offense in this ball game.
I don't think there's any question about it. Rarely do you get defensive struggles in the Pro Bowl.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that makes the score 7-0. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. On 1st down, Breeze. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And that play goes nowhere. He's met behind the line, and a penalty flag may add insult to injury.
Still 1st down.
That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. From the gun, it's Breeze. And this is Hurts with it, right side. 7 yards on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13. For Drew Brees, this his 12th Pro Bowl nomination. Though he hasn't played all 12 years, but still, what a career and what a season. And to do it at this age, unbelievable.
Not too bad for a guy who turned 40 the week leading up to the NFC Championship game. He keeps himself in such superb physical condition and still loves everything that goes along with football. He may play till he's 60.
This is the Rams' Todd Gurley, his 3rd Pro Bowl in 4 seasons. And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Runs through the contact. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the AFC will have it 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Mahomes in the AFC now with a 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. It's Conner as they stay on the ground. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. Khalil Mack of the Bears, the one to make the tackle. On 2nd down now, it's Conner, and he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
A 2nd-time Pro Bowler here. This is the Chargers' Melvin Gordon. And he's going to get the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 22. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. For Patrick Mahomes, what a season he had. First as a full-time starter, and he goes over 5,000 yards, 50 touchdowns, and rewarded with his first Pro Bowl.
And think about if you're in Kansas City, the organization, the team, the city, how well are you set up for future years with that youngster as your quarterback? Not only are the guys on the team excited about it, think about free agents, thinking about where they might want to play. If you're a free agent receiver, you're thinking Kansas City.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Charles, this the 2019 Pro Bowl. The AFC's won both games that have been played here in Orlando since they moved it here. Both have been competitive, 20-13 2 seasons ago, and last year in 2018 it was 24-23 the final.
Yeah, and 2 years ago, Travis Kelce, Lorenzo Alexander were the game MVPs, offense and defense respectively. And then last year, Delaney Walker of the Titans, their tight end, he won it on offense, and Von Miller of the Broncos won it on defense.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. Now the NFC going to call the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They'll run for it with Conner. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. I love those plays. 4th and 1, that's who wants it more, this time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop their hips, gain leverage, and move the other side backwards? We saw it there for the offense getting it done. Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule.
I haven't met a defense coordinator yet that thinks 2nd and 2 is a fun situation to try and defend. The playbook is wide open for an offense, partner.
Nice job. Hold him to 1 after that touchdown. Melvin Gordon, 38 yards. And the AFC is able to widen their advantage. Great play, but admittedly, the tackling in the Pro Bowl, Charles, not always the best.
I would say that they're not quite as committed to getting a guy on the ground in the Pro Bowl as maybe during the regular season and, of course, in the playoffs. But still, heck of an individual effort there on that run.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And it's good to make it 14-0. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it's capped off by a touchdown run coming from Melvin Gordon. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just burrow his way back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. J.J. Watt of the Texans there on the tackle. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Here's Gurley. And they're going to be waiting for him as they get him behind the line. So we are at halftime of the 2019 Pro Bowl. You want the 3rd quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Mahomes in the AFC now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. They'll start the 3rd quarter on the ground with Gordon. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
third quarter and you've got the lead, you're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On second down, Connor looking for space. A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They go play action. Now Mahomes eluding the pressure right. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Gordon. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Now Connor. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25.
Come on, Connor.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive linemen out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They all go buy them dinner. But after a play like that, he might reduce it, might go to the corner and just grab a hot dog or two, huh?
Hey, I mean, they've still been blocking for him well in this game. They don't get one mulligan up front.
Okay, so what we're saying then is we're going petite filet instead of porterhouse. How's that?
8 ounce is good.
All right, just checking.
Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Breeze and the NFC come up now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Breeze now to throw. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And until that point, we haven't seen Julio Jones. That's hard to believe here this late in the game.
And no one more frustrated than Julio Jones because receivers feed off of catches. That's their fuel, and that's also their affirmation. And he hasn't been getting much of that in this game, and their team is losing, and he wants to have a better effect on the game.
Just the first connection, Ryan to Jones there. It's the NFC with the lead and the football as we start the 4th. Pressure, and the AFC gets to him for the sack. The lightning rod, J.J. Watt with a sack.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. We'll get this out to Barkley, complete. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 4th down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. The NFC's decision to go for it does not pan out. And as a result, possession switches hands. They start the drive with Connor. He's got the first down and more past midfield. 30, 10, for touchdown. James Conner, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the AFC adds on to their lead. That's what we want right there, CD. It's a Pro Bowl. Give us some of these long touchdowns.
We want plays that cover a lot of ground. We want long